Well, hey everybody! Welcome to That Moment in the Car with me, Will. I'm so glad that you could join us. You know, it's kind of funny. We all have those moments, or that moment that I like to call. And I've never quite understood this, but those moments always tend to happen in either one of two places. Don't ask me why it is, but it's always the bathroom of the car. It just seems that if we're confined in any small space for any length of time, I'd say 10 minutes or longer, God tends to seize that opportunity, you know what I mean? It's like, I've got you cornered now, and you're going nowhere. You have no choice but to listen to me. So, that moment for me didn't actually happen today. It happened a little while ago, but I still wanted to share it with you. So, as I recall, I was driving along, minding my own business, and that's when it happened. I looked out my driver's side window and I noticed a taco shop. Yeah, really, a taco shop, I know, right? So anyways, I'm driving along a little ways further. Next thing you know, I come rolling up to another taco shop. And about that time, I hear God say to me, "You see the taco shop?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I see the taco shop. What's the deal with the taco shops, you know?" And so anyways, he doesn't answer me. I'm waiting for an answer, and I wait for a little while. And next thing you know, I'm pulling up, and I look out the passenger side, and what do I see? Well, it wasn't McDonald's. Let's just put it that way. Another taco shop, right? About that time, God says, "You see the taco shop?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you know, I see the taco shop. What's the deal with the taco shops? Are you leading me to go to one of these places because somebody needs some prayer or ministry? I mean, I'll go if that's the case, you know, right?" So I'm waiting for an answer, and God still doesn't answer me. And so I'm driving a little ways further, and next thing you know, lo and behold, another taco shop. And that's when God speaks again and says, "You see the taco shop?" And I'm like, "Yeah, right, I see the taco shop. That's like the 80th taco shop I've approached so far." And on a finer note, for those of you that are from Arizona or live in Arizona, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about when I say this, okay? And for those of you that are not, let me enlighten you a little bit, okay? Arizona is infinitely famous for three things, undoubtedly, okay? Number one, the heat. Our summers here are very brutal. I guess hence why we're called a desert or the Valley of the Sun. Go figure, you know?
So thirsty. Water? Uh-oh. Oh, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John! Holy shnikey! Get it off! Get it off! Get it off!
Oh, wow. Forget about the heat, you know. I hope that guy is all right. Snakes is another problem here, too, by the way. Anyways, the heat, though. I mean, it gets so hot here during the summer, you can actually fry eggs out on the sidewalk, believe it or not. I've actually done it, and they come out pretty good, believe it or not. So, number one is the heat. And number two, I would most definitely have to say, really bad football.
And the Arizona Cardinals lose again.
Hey, Cardinals, I'm sorry, I love you. But I mean, one Super Bowl appearance in 20-something years and you still couldn't even win? Come on. Oh, and don't worry, I'm not going to bring politics to this. Not even a part of the agenda here. But number three, most undoubtedly, has got to be the taco shops. We can't leave those out. Home to 9,000,001 taco shops. No joke. You cannot help but to not be driving down the street and every 3 seconds notice a taco shop, okay? And on a little bit smaller history of taco shops here, for the longest time, everybody went by the name Filiberto's. And everyone else decided to capitalize on that. They figured that, hey, if we just variate the name a little bit, maybe we could get some business too. So next thing you know, you've got not just Filiberto's, but you've got Eddie Berto's, Rolly Berto's, Mama Berto's, Billy Berto's. Anything with the last name of Berto's they figured would sell, and it did do its job for a while, okay? And then they came in and just got totally crazy with it. Next thing you know, you had, Taco Cabana, Taco Taco, Taco Loco, Taco Tote, tacos, nonetheless. So you get the idea. We're home to 9,000,001 taco shops. Anyhow, I'm driving along. Next thing you know, I see, guess what? lo and behold, another taco shop. And what does God say to me? He says, you see the taco shop? And I'm like, yeah, God, I see the taco shop. What's the deal with the taco shops, right? And that's when he says, understanding and forgiveness. And I'm like, what? Understanding and forgiveness? I'm just like having one of those moments like, how do you get understanding and forgiveness out of taco shops, right? I'm thinking to myself, okay, God, I don't quite get it. And, you know, it's funny when God is trying to show us something that we tend to come at him with that sarcastic thing, right? And like that's going to work with God. Pretty soon the conviction thing sets in. You know what I mean? That's when the Holy Spirit comes in and is like, zap. And you're like, oh, all right, God. So I apologize. I said, look, I'm sorry for being sarcastic and being facetious. You know, what are you trying to show me? And next thing I notice, I'm rolling up on my 80th taco shop. No joke. And God says, you see the taco shop? And I'm like, yeah, God, I see the taco shop. And he's like, understanding and forgiveness again. And then he doesn't answer me for a while, okay? I always have a hard time with that when God does that. You know, he asks you something or he'll say something, then he doesn't answer you for a while. It's like, so I'm over here thinking to myself, you know, tacos and understanding and forgiveness, how do they go together? What? And I'm like, oh, I know. You know, apparently I must not be eating enough tacos to get understanding and forgiveness. That must be what it is. I'm thinking, okay, God, I need more tacos, right? I'll turn right back around and go to that taco shop and I'll buy a whole bag of them. Then that way I'll have lots of understanding and forgiveness, right? And right about that time, that's when God comes in with the conviction thing again. And he's like, well, the truth is, you really don't have enough understanding and forgiveness in your life. So you see, for all the taco shops, every time you pass one, that's the amount of understanding you really need to have during the day for others. For the immense amount of taco shops that you see. And the amount of times you need to be asking for forgiveness. And I'm like, hey, God, you're talking about the parable in Matthew, right? 70 times 70, right? I'm thinking to myself, why couldn't you have just showed me the parable again? See, the truth of the matter is, if I had really caught the meaning of the parable of forgiveness 70 times 70, which also goes in hand with understanding, God wouldn't have been showing me through taco shops. And let me tell you this right now. My ratio for forgiveness and understanding to the taco shops here are way below average, okay? Way, way, way below. So it was just a subtle reminder and hit to me that, hey, every time I'm seeing one of them taco shops, or I think of the taco shops, I need to tend to have a little bit more understanding for others. And I need to seek more forgiveness, That's really what it's about. So, you know what? No matter what state or country you might be living in, I mean, I'm sure that you could be driving down the street and notice something that totally outweighs anything you would ever see. I mean, maybe taco shops like in our case, or in your case, it could be sheep or cows or, in some places, McDonald's. Walmart's notorious for being on every street corner, 7-Eleven. So let those be a subtle reminder to you that understanding and forgiveness are something that we need more abundantly in our life. So this has been That Moment in the Car with me, Will. Hey, you know what? If you've got a moment to share with us, we'd like to hear about it. Go ahead and post it up on our Facebook page. Go to the Twitter and make your remarks there. YouTube, GodTube, whatever it might be. But we would like to hear it. Until next time, this has been That Moment in the Car.
Television Network.